Dear colleagues, my name is Violeta Buza and I am from Kosovo. I am PhD candidate in European University Tirana in Albania. I work like teacher in school Ilmarina in Jakova and assistant in University of Pristina in Faculty of Education in Jakova. The subject of research is right assessment of teachers, key of success in learning process. It's action research in one classroom with 20 students. We have many things to say about assessment or evaluation. What is assessment? How we want to make in our classrooms. But if we see what the assessment reform group said in 2002 about the assessment, they said it's a process of searching and interpretation of advances by students and their teachers to decide that where the students are, where they should be, and how to get there in the best way. And we made that if the teachers pay attention on assessment planning, that is recurred before the during learning. If we see the formative assessment book published by Basic Education Program, the assessment is made for teachers to apply the formative and summative assessment because the formative assessment is process and teachers can write comments, feedback for students to improve learning and moving on, and the students can write reciprocal assessment and self-assessment too. And summative assessment is product, summary with mark, information about how much learning has been done for students. The study traced the issue of application of formative assessment in classes as one of the biggest education challenges in Kosovo realized in primary school. Intention of right application of formative assessment is in general the improvement of learning quality. Then to achieve a successful class, it is necessary for the teacher to realize advanced planning involving time management, objectives, methods, techniques, as well as application of assessment as a key part in increasing learning quality of students in learning process. And this study traits students and parents should know the success respectfully, the failure, and for a certain period of time assigned through application of assessment by the teachers. This study is aimed at importance of application right assessment in field of education by the teachers because it is considered the primary factor in learning quality and effective learning, with view to motivation students through application of several forms of assessment to be communicative, effective, critical thinkers, successful students, productive contributors, and responsible in society. Based on my work as a teacher, I thought the hypothesis of this study to be planning criteria of success affects in students' achievements and their right evaluation. Establishment of criteria must be done part of teacher in collaboration with students to improve the level of achievement for a positive change systematically and enhancing cooperation of didactic triangle teachers, students, parents. The teacher should change methods and teaching tools for quality teaching and learning. If we try to answer these questions, why should we change the assessment in class? The teacher should change the assessment and propose to help students to achieve aims of learning and to prepare them to be agile during their lifetime. The teacher should apply the formative assessment to motivate students for further learning, to provide feedback in order to improve the learning, to identify strengths and weaknesses in learning, collectively with the aim of making the right decisions. After some research on the application of formative assessment, we selected this class with 20 pupils in School Marina to realize action research. The sample is intentional and includes: we collected teachers' information, observing the class with 20 excellent, average, and weak students in the subject of Albanian language and mathematics. Then we observed planning criteria, monitoring the feedback of pupils' notebooks and motivation of pupils after a set of feedback from teacher. Now we reach to the results of the study by observation and notice from the teacher. Planning criteria of success by the teachers in cooperation with students brings correctness. Mutual evaluation between students and self-evaluation in different activities makes students more responsible. Excellent students were quite motivated, but they required to be evaluated by marks too. Average and weak students that got incendiary comments were motivated to learn, so to change their learning. Parents read feedbacks in their children's notebooks and not set their good results. Cooperation parent-teacher-student was the best for increasing learning quality of students. With these results, we know that formative assessment is good to plan and to apply in the class. If the student is not going to show success in any task, then the teacher should pay attention to the difficulties that have followed student. The teacher then evaluates whether redesign is necessary or repeat unit for student who did not show result. We can notice the importance of planning the class by criteria of success and successful evaluation through different kinds of assessment. Success criteria we can plan in all subjects, especially we can apply criteria in the case of Albanian language and maths. Once students understand that it is their duty and should realize it is observed by the teacher, presentation of knowledge and skills of students for successful learning. It was the duty of the teacher to check the knowledge and to provide an assessment of the different comments. Comments can be positive for successful work or critical to improve students' learning. In this research, excellent students who got only positive comments were motivated, but they asked to be evaluated with grades too. Average students who got not very good comments for different activities, but the comments being inflammatory because there was written that they can learn better and realize their work in a successful way, started to change their learning process. Cooperation with parents was the most successful because they read the feedbacks in students' notebooks, not set self-assessment of their children for the results achieved, and the cooperation parent-teacher-student was better for increasing the quality of learning of the students. With application of the two forms of assessment by the teachers, we noticed that all students are satisfied with their comments during the various activities for new units or their revision. Applying right formative assessment has an impact on raising the quality of teaching learning process. Through this action research, we come to understand that a successful motivation is achieved for all students during learning process, and average weak students particularly on purpose to get positive comments for the realization of their works or homeworks. At this, students noticed a positive change in improving their learning. In the last years, there are noticed some positive changes in learning process in teaching and learning of the students. Now we come to conclusions. Planning the criteria of success from teachers has important role in successful learning of students. Application of formative assessment and summative assessment affects in filling the possible holes that one or another assessment brings. For all of students, there is achieved a successful motivation of students during the learning quality, and especially average and weak students on purpose for them to get positive comments for realizing their works or homeworks. Replanning of work by the teachers influences the quality of learning. In this research, we find application of several forms of assessment in class is the key of success for qualitative learning of students. In every school, need achievable change. We have some recommendations for teachers to apply the assessment in their class. The teachers need to plan success criteria and to apply two forms of assessment in their class, because it will achieve quality teaching and learning. They need to identify students' work and to report their work to others and especially to parents, because it will achieve genuine cooperation. Teachers need to give feedback in students' notebook with different comments depending on the realization of homework, because they need to motivate students for successful learning. The reciprocal evaluation performed between students and self-assessment during various activities, because the students need to be more responsible for their work and for their friends. Teachers self-assess their work for the success or based on student achievement for the purpose of at the right time redesign. Thanks for your attention.